Hello, I'm Francesca, and this is your weekly energy and love forecast for the week of December 1st through the 7th. Welcome back. If you're a subscriber, welcome, welcome. If you are new, all are welcome here. So I'm just going to briefly talk about some astrological movements and then share the cards that I was guided to pull that really jumped out. I get guided to the deck, and then the cards pop up and my insights and tips to help navigate this week. So if that is your thing, keep watching. Hopefully you like it. Give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, click like, all the things. All right, so let's dive in. December 1st, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. And the overall feeling of this week, there's an excitement, right? Which always comes with a new moon. But there's also this dreaminess. There's lots of little movements with Venus and all these other things. So there's a dreaminess, a watery sign feel to this week as well. But I want to talk about this new moon. So new moons, fresh starts, fabulous. And with the new moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius to me is always adventure. Sagittarians to me, I don't think I've ever met an unfriendly Sagittarius. So if you are a Sagittarius, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you're not, let me know your sun sign too. Like I said, everybody's welcome here. All right. So what I love about Sagittarians, aside from their friendly nature, is that adventureness. They're very playful as well. And the later cards are hilarious as well. But when I work with clients, especially clients that are trying to call in an appropriate partner, I give the example of the archer. And if it's a woman, I use Artemis. If it's a male, the sign of Sagittarius is Centaur. But if you think about the archer, this archer in particular doesn't miss, always hits the target. So if you knew that you were going to hit your target, that you could never miss, what would your intention be? What would you truly like to bring to life? And so this week with this new moon, think about your intention. You're not going to miss. So what is it that you are aiming for, that you are planting the seeds for, that is going to bloom, come to life, whatever it may be, whatever aspect of your life, whether it's career, health, relationship. So think about that. What if you could never miss? Super powerful, right? So aim for what you want and trust that it already is. All right. Then the second, like I said, there's always something going on every day, but the two big things when I tuned in this week were the new moon, and on the 6th, Mars goes retrograde in Leo. So we all know that Mars is action. So when it goes retrograde, it slows down. And instead of necessarily taking action, it's a good time to reflect on perhaps your passions. And what is it? How are your desires? Are they aligned with your actions? Or let me rephrase that. Do your actions align with your desires? So a lot of times when I've worked with a few clients that would do this, that they wanted a partnership, desired it very much so, but then there was no action. And so we need both of those things. So what is the desire? And does that action then align with that desire? So if you want a partner, but you're not going out where you could meet somebody or using an app online or whatever it may be, if you're just going to work and then going home, does that action support that desire? So this isn't necessarily the week to take any action at all, especially with Mercury retrograde. This is a huge time of reflection and reflection, review, and to also recharge. We all need times to recharge. And to me, that's what Mercury retrograde is about. So when you take that time to reflect, review, release, recharge, then when Mercury retrograde ends, then you can charge forward again, feeling refreshed, renewed, and take those actions. So this is really an opportunity to get super, super clear on what those desires are, especially then with Mars in retrograde. So we have that double whammy of Mars and Mercury in retrograde. So my advice, take it or leave it, take it however it resonates, leave the rest, is to really sit with in that like review and and maybe what you want has changed or you're refining, tweaking. Absolutely perfect. I know that when I think back to 10 years ago, my desires then are totally different than they are today. Heck, if I'm honest, probably even 4 months ago, maybe a little different. And that's perfect because we should continue to grow. And the beauty of this is your primary relationship is always with yourself. So be brutally honest with yourself. And it's okay to step back and be like, oh gosh, what I thought I wanted was really what somebody else wanted from me. I'm going to let that go. And I'm just going to take this time to dig in deep to see what I truly want and desire. Beautiful. So that leads me to the cards that came in as support for this week, some insights, etc., preparation to help navigate these energies. All right. As always, trust your intuition. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You're your best guide always. All right. So the first card that came up is the drum, which I absolutely love. And so with the drum, drumming, we'll say, like, tunes you to the beating of the heart of the universe or the cosmic heart. So there's a couple different interpretations for this depending on your situation. This, once again, is a general reading overall for the collective. So once again, if it doesn't resonate, leave it behind. But perhaps you're realizing or in a space of embracing that you travel to the beat of your own drum. And you are this beautiful recipe. Maybe you don't fit the mold, and maybe you tried to resist that for a really long time and try to like put yourself in the little cookie cutter. But then you realize, like, gosh, that really doesn't make me happy. I'm actually doesn't feel good. So you're finding your own drumbeat and learning to walk in that. And that is so empowering. So if that is you, kudos, amazing. There could also be a little bit about, I just love this imagery, about reflecting what isn't in tune with you, which ties in perfectly with Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde. So maybe you're realizing, oh, this, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, maybe it isn't in tune or doesn't match your frequency, your vibration. And so it may be time to either tweak or leave it behind. And everything is cyclical. So when we let go of something else, it makes space for something new. So this could be from the smallest little tweak to something major. Like I said, however it may apply in your life. And then perhaps you are in a new job or in a new relationship, and it's finding that rhythm. And so every relationship has its own frequency. So you have two people, they each have their own frequency, but then they come together. And when they co-create this beloved partnership, which then has its own frequency. So maybe it's navigating that new frequency. And as we grow and change, obviously our frequency is going to change, which then affects the relationship. So maybe it's just even being aware of that. And just by being aware of that, you then sink into that rhythm. And as you sink into that, then that also positively, empathically impacts your partner. So it's a very beautiful, beautiful transformation that occurs. All right. And I got guided to pull out a deck that hadn't really been calling out for a while, but I guess it was its turn. So it's an animal card deck that I've had for, I don't know, probably at least 25 years or so, but I love it. And the card that was pulled was the dolphin. And what's funny and what it says here is tune into the rhythm of your breath to find stillness and patience. Once again, everything, there are no coincidences. It's always synchronicity. And it just makes me gleeful because it truly is that recognition that we are always supported and guided by the universe if we just take a moment to get into stillness and be open to receive. We always get the confirmation that we're asking for. So we have the rhythm of the breath here and the rhythm of the drum. So once again, falling in sync. And I also love that the other part of the dolphin is about the stillness and patience. Two things that, once again, the retrogrades always invite us to cultivate more of that stillness and that patience. And I think part of the patience is that in our modern world, it's always like go, 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 and there's just ga, ga, ga. And so it can feel a little bit unnatural to maybe be patient or have that stillness. And so it's nature is always a great way then to see, oh, like where I live, we have the four seasons. The trees are almost bare. There's still some that have leaves because it's fall here, but the trees, everything goes into stillness. So once again, going into that retrograde, that release, recharge. And so I think that's part of the patience and the stillness as well. We are part of nature. Our bodies are part of nature. So our bodies need that stillness. Our minds need the stillness. So this is the perfect time for that. The other beautiful thing that I love about the dolphin is it's about play. And to me, if there was one adjective that I had to, if someone's like, okay, give one adjective for a dolphin, playful. That's always my go-to, playful, joy. And to me, that links back to that whole Sagittarius, the archer, the adventure. There's always a playfulness that I find with Sagittarius as well. So I think that's super supportive as always. And maybe this week is a good week to really dive into that playfulness. During this reflection, how can you have a little more play this week? One of the great ways I find to relax or to move into more of a reflection, to review things and to integrate everything that you have been doing is to play. And play, I feel, speeds up that integration. Not that you're doing it to speed it up, it's just a byproduct of the play. So where can you have or add in more play this week? For a lot of people, you know, it's holiday time, usually end of November through December, early January, and it can be stressful. You may be traveling. No matter how much you may enjoy the holidays, no matter what you celebrate, it can be a little tense. So allow this invitation, give yourself permission to play in all of it, however that works for you. And then I was guided to pull another inquiry card. So I think that's interesting that, but I do believe that it's because it's tied to the retrograde, the reflection. And so the inquiry card for this week is, what am I attracted to? And once again, I think this message could be different depending on your situation. So if you want to apply this to yourself, I think this goes back to that passion and the Mars going retrograde and then the drum. Where is your rhythm? What are you attracted to? What is your passion? Are you taking the appropriate steps towards that desire? Maybe there's a lot of change coming. So maybe you've been pondering changing careers, or changing houses. There's, like I said, there's a lot here, and it just depends on where you are, what area of your life is maybe a little more dominant, versus what is in a good flow right now. And then also, if you are dating or want to get out there dating, that is a great reflection question to really hone in on those qualities that you are attracted to. And keep it simple, keep it down to 3. You can think about, if you want, past relationships. What attracted you to that person? Was it their confidence? Was it their kindness? Was it their sense of humor? Was it their generosity? And it could also be a shift from, oh, I really thought that I wanted X, but that really didn't feel supportive or what I really wanted. So many times in dating, we get clarity by seeing the things that we don't really want to help us refine and clarify what we do want. So just briefly from my own life, there were certain qualities that I was for sure when I was 24, I wanted in a partner. Like it was X, Y, and Z. And I got X, Y, and Z. And then I realized, oh, you know what? I think I might like A, B, and C better. That might be a better fit for me than X, Y, and Z. So this is a really good question then to hone in, especially, like I said, if you are in the process of calling in an appropriate beloved partnership. So yay, that seemed really long. Apologies for that. So if you hung out to the end, kudos to you. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you for viewing. There are so many channels out there and so many different people you could watch, and your time is precious. So in deep gratitude for you taking the time to watch this, let me know in the comments if there was a piece that really resonated with you for this week. In deep gratitude as always. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, share with your friends, help spread the love vibes around the world. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.